Hello everyone, Taylor Johnson here. I wanted to give you a look at the September statistics for the DC regional housing market. And as you can see, the closed sales are down 19% over 2022, and median price is holding fairly steady and actually a slight increase. This is maybe the third month in a row we've seen a little bit of an increase in the median sales price because we continue to have a shortage. You can see here that new listings are down 33%. And active listings are down also. But what we do see is that the number of new listings is actually a little bit higher than the number of new pending sales. So slowly, active inventory is actually increasing a little bit. And we see that regional months of supply is up around 2. So this is actually an increase as well. And we see a couple things here. So buyers obviously are contending with higher mortgage rates. We anticipate maybe they might go as high as 8%. There's certainly... We had thought maybe earlier this year that they might be declining by the end of the year, but that doesn't seem to be happening. And it also seems that perhaps rates are going to stay high into next year. So that means that we've got a little bit of a difficult market to deal with for some time. And we can see that new listings are coming on the market. However, the number of new listings, as I said, coming on the market is outpacing the number of new pending sales. So that's a good thing, particularly for the buyer side. The number of active listings is still very low. We are roughly 54% of the homes that were on the market in September of 2019. So this is the major constraint for both buyers and sellers that's holding the market steady. And the other thing that we're seeing here is that the listing, the home demand is down. And in fact, we've seen a sharp decrease from 77 last month to 48 this month. And we'll look at some specific areas later in a minute. So here's again a prediction from Bright MLS economists that rates might reach 8%. And this is obviously going to limit what people can afford to buy and whether or not they're willing to buy. However, the key thing to remember is that there are still people out there who want to buy. They just can't right now. So when mortgage rates do start to drop, we're going to see people jump into the market, and that will put a tremendous pressure on prices as buyers return to the market. So if you are able to buy right now, stomach the hurt of this higher mortgage price, higher mortgage rate, in the end, you'll be probably better off because you will have gotten the house now, you'll start to build equity, and you'll have not been as competitive a market. We can negotiate a little bit right now with the sellers, whereas when we've got more buyers in the market, it's very hard to negotiate. Closed sales, as we mentioned, are down. I'm not going to go over that. Median sales price dropped 6%, with detached homes having the sharpest month-to-month decrease. So this is interesting because in much of the last couple of years with COVID, we saw detached homes as the ones that were showing the greatest amount of increase as people were sort of fighting to get the space and get their own place. And right now, that doesn't seem to be where people are going. They're going into townhouses and condos more likely. We are seeing that active listings are down. As I mentioned before, levels are only 54% of what they were in September 2019. There was an 11% jump in inventory from last month. So that means that right now there's a few more homes to choose from, which is kind of a good thing if you're a buyer. Showings are down significantly, which if you're a seller means that you just have to be ready for a little bit longer sale, though about half the homes are selling in less than a week. So it's almost essentially like there are two markets. If you have a house that's priced well and shows well, it sells very quickly. If it's a little bit quirky, the floor plan's a little bit off, the price is just even slightly just a little bit too high, it takes longer. So local markets, we have see here that supply continues to be an obstacle. Inventory fell in all of the regions. In the largest jurisdictions, active listings are closest to what they were in September of 2022, just down about close to 2%. Competition remains fierce. Half of homes sold in the region were off the market in a week or less. So here's closed sales. We can see every region is down, and median sales price, we can also see that despite the sales being down, sales price is up in every jurisdiction except Falls Church. But remember, we don't count Falls Church because Falls Church only had 11 sales. One sale is going to change that price significantly. So we're not even going to look at that. New pendings. You can see here a mixed bag of numbers. New listings across the board are down significantly, close to 30% everywhere. Median days on market, the best for a buyer is 24, where you have almost a little over 3 weeks of days on market. And this means, again, if all the homes currently on the market, if no new homes come on, how long will it take to sell the homes currently on the market? It will take 24 days. Whereas, like in Frederick County or Loudoun County, it's only 7 days of inventory. That's a very, very small inventory. So maybe the areas that are kind of the best in terms of some choice or options are Prince George's County, DC, clearly, Arlington County, Alexandria County. Though Alexandria City and Arlington County have really high demand index. We'll look at that shortly. We can see here too that months of supply across the board has gone up. We've been looking at months of supply at like 1 month or under for much of the region, with DC being right around 3. You can see DC's gone up quite a bit, 3.5. And the other areas are now over 1. Everybody's over 1. There's nobody that's under 1 month of supply. So this is a sign that the market is slowing down. It is really a little bit harder to sell if you're thinking about going out of the market as a seller. It also means as a buyer, potentially, there's more opportunity for you, again, if you can stomach the price of the mortgage. There's been discussion about whether or not we've reached a price ceiling. Certainly it's become very difficult for buyers to afford home prices where they are right now and with mortgage rates. Some people have been using savings to or accumulated equity in order to move from one house to another, but it is really difficult. We don't see a major price correction, but we've seen some softening of prices, perhaps you could say, because the inventory is still so low. I mean, there's just that demand versus supply basic formula keeps holding those prices up. Here you can see the demand index I mentioned earlier. Last month, Alexandria and Arlington were well into the hundreds, and you can see that they are now under 100. DC has actually held fairly well. I think it was around 70 something, or these areas are also down. So what this means is that people, as you know, showings are down. People are just not really going out to look at houses because it's tough. It is a sign maybe that the market is cooling. So again, if you're a seller, this means it is a little harder to sell. It also means that if you really want to have your home looking sharp and priced right in order to sell quickly, or you have to be willing to wait for the right buyer to come along at the price that you choose. If you're a buyer and you can stomach the payment of the mortgages right now, you do have some options. You have more to choose from. When rates go down, they're going to be boom, 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 people jumping into the market. It's going to become super competitive all over again. We're going to see prices jump up as, you know, we have 40 offers and people are offering well over asking price. So if I can talk to you about anything, explain any of this, help you out, be a resource for you in any way, my name is Taylor Johnson. If you liked this video, please indicate so and subscribe to my channel. That helps other people like you find it. And reach out. Again, I'm with Keller Williams Capital Properties, and I'm here to be a resource for you. Have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for your time. Bye now.